You won't be productive if you don't listen to this, if you find it hard to do what you said you would do, or to stop doing what you said you would no longer do, and you want to become a more disciplined person, this video is for you. In it, I will share with you 4 principles that I have extracted from what are probably the most important compilations of Stoic texts in history, Letters to Lucilius by Seneca and Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. The first book, the Letters to Lucilius, also known as Moral Epistles, compiles the correspondence Seneca sent to his friend Lucilius during the last 3 years of his life. And the Meditations are a series of texts that the Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote during the last 10 years of his life as a personal guide for self-improvement, as a sort of affirmation of his moral and philosophical convictions. Both books are a majestic expression of human greatness, whose principles show us how to thrive in times of difficulty, how to become more conscious and virtuous, and how to find meaning in our lives. In this video, I will summarize or group his teachings on discipline into 4 categories. But of course, this is only my personal approach, and in any case, I encourage you to read them, because for me, they are 2 of the best books ever written. First principle, purpose. For Stoics, discipline begins with finding your purpose. You need to have a reason to do what you said you would do, or to stop doing what you no longer want to do. Your purpose is what you were created to do. Just as plants, birds, ants, spiders and bees each have their own task and contribute to the good order of the world, you too must act according to what conforms to your nature. Moreover, there is no greater delight for a human being than to do what he was created for. Such was the vision of the Stoics, and we all know very well that there is something for us. Even if we are lost and aimless, going through a dark and painful time, somehow we feel that there is a purpose to our existence, and that when we find it, we will finally find peace of mind and everything will fit. Everything will make sense. That is why we must do everything in our power to find the purpose for which we were created. We must get out of passivity and search actively. Try new things that you feel attracted to. Open yourself to new experiences that seem meaningful to you. Explore new points of view. All with the clear intention of becoming aware of that nature that is inherent to you. You do not act in an exalted way or to distract or recreate yourself or just because, but you venture to explore reality with the goal of finding that which is also looking for you. Second principle, action. Stoics were men of action, but their actions were always oriented towards a clear and specific objective. For there to be discipline, there must first be an objective. Discipline cannot be applied to something empty and random, but needs a tangible motive. When you do not have clearly defined objectives, your actions are irrational and incompetent. There is no favorable wind for the ship that does not know towards which port it is heading, Seneca says. Before you start acting blindly and hastily, you must set yourself a reasonable goal. You have to analyze your current situation thoroughly, and from there you have to be able to discern what possibilities you think you are able to turn into a tangible reality. And once you have clearly defined an objective that you know you can achieve, you must elaborate a daily plan where each daily action will lead you, step by step, to the conquest of your goal. Discipline is the habit of consistency, nothing more, nothing less. And when you are truly committed, all the small daily steps are also part of your commitment. Step by step, day by day, you do what you said you would do. If you want to be a writer, you write every day. If you want to be an athlete, you do sports every day. If you want to be a cook, you cook every day. If you want to learn a skill, you dedicate yourself to achieve its mastery every day. It doesn't matter if you don't feel motivated. Do it if you don't feel like it, but do it. Put yourself in the path of action. Every day there must be progress of some kind. Treat your whole life as if it were contained in the present moment, and focus on making this moment count. Third principle, strength. Discipline undoubtedly requires great inner strength. If we do not want to faint when unexpected situations arise or give up when things do not go as well as we would like, we need to strengthen ourselves. However, there are 2 great obstacles that weaken us and ruin our discipline: the avoidance of the uncomfortable and the search for immediate pleasure. When we are always hiding from discomfort and chasing instant gratification, discipline simply vanishes. The Stoics propose 2 strategies for internal reinforcement to overcome these 2 enemies of discipline. The first strategy is to voluntarily expose yourself to difficult situations. You have to make life routinely uncomfortable in some way. Avoiding discomfort not only makes you fragile, it leads to mediocrity. Because any meaningful achievement requires multiple forms of discomfort. Physical and mental effort, courage to face the unknown, the bitterness of defeat, fear of failure, conflicts, unexpected challenges, getting rid of dishonest behavior patterns. If we cannot tolerate certain discomfort, there is no achievement and no growth. Avoiding at all costs what we find annoying and bothersome leads us to become by choice weak people who cannot tolerate the slightest difficulty. And since correcting everything that is wrong in our lives requires discomfort, we never do. However, exposing ourselves daily and routinely to difficult and uncomfortable situations prepares us to live life with greater courage and discipline. Physical exercise is a good example. It is a way of striving and exposing yourself voluntarily to a physical activity that produces fatigue and therefore discomfort. Don't eat that food full of sugar and saturated fats. Spending a morning without looking at your social networks. When you choose to perform daily these small actions that prepare you to tolerate discomfort, you will become a person who no longer hides from the hard work. Even if your mind complains because it can't stand the idea of doing difficult and unpleasant things, you will be able to move forward with strength because you are no longer the kind of person who hides from the difficult and unpleasant. And the second empowerment strategy is to voluntarily give up all that instant gratification that, far from helping you achieve your long-term goals, only hinders you. We are all in some way hooked to certain transitory pleasures, which, although they make us feel good momentarily, they keep us away from becoming who we want to become. But if we are able to eliminate the impulse to give ourselves those pleasures, we will be closer to achieving our goal. The idea is simple. If you want to lose weight, don't eat that cake. It will make you feel good at the very moment you are eating it, but it takes you away from your goal. The ability to delay the momentary pleasure in favor of a meaningful reward that you will get later is one of the cores of discipline. When we consciously decide not to give in to the temptation to do what we want so badly now, so that maybe later we can experience something better, we create a disciplined mind whose joy no longer arises from desperately seeking pleasure, but to aim for higher and nobler goals. And let's go to the last principle, reflection. You have to self-examine daily. Every day you must evaluate your actions and intentions, find your weaknesses, and correct quickly. At the end of each day, ask yourself, where was my discipline tested today? In what situations did I have to overcome my resistances? Did I fall into any negligent behavior? How can I improve? You can elaborate a series of questions and answer them internally at the end of the day, or you can do it as a journal by writing about your progress. But the idea is to always create a space for reflection and self-evaluation. If upon examination you realize you had a bad day, correct what you need to correct and move on. But don't use it as an excuse to turn it into a bad week, a bad month, and a bad year. Don't fall into victimhood or complain about not achieving what you didn't deserve because of your lack of discipline. When you victimize yourself, you only neutralize your own growth. Take responsibility. And very important, don't allow others to demotivate you either. Don't let those who never achieved anything significant distract you from your pursuits. People who have lived their lives in perpetual stagnation usually live in bitterness and resentment, and they hate to see anyone get ahead. But according to the Stoics, the voice of these ill-intentioned people that today we commonly know as haters do not deserve to be heard because they have not earned that privilege, not even if they are close people like family or friends. Better look for feedback from those who have achieved what you want to achieve. Brilliant people who earned your respect with their actions and your character, and if you don't have someone like that around, emulate wise people you admire. It doesn't matter if you don't know them, or if they are people who lived in a bygone era. If they have already conquered what you want to conquer, conquer and left testimony of their deeds, put your attention there. As the great Marcus Aurelius used to say, look carefully at the principles that guide the wise, what things they avoid, and what things they wish to achieve. And this is the end of today's video. If you liked it, I would be truly grateful if you leave me a like. It's free, and it helps a lot because YouTube only recommends videos that have received many likes and many comments, and I invite you to watch my previous videos and to subscribe because I plan to continue uploading more videos like this one that will help you create a golden mind and become golden. See you, bye.